Hello everyone, this is Abhishek and welcome to the new video in our Breakout Candidates series. I'll start with the new findings today and then later on we'll move on to the shares which I had already shared in the past and still can be accumulated. So let's move on to our first stock. Okay, so our first stock is Indian Railways, our very own railways. I think it is good to accumulate between 1720 and 1674 range. It is also forming a cup and handle on the weekly chart. So a very good candidate to positionally play for 3000 plus. So कुल्हड़ की चाय का मजा लेते हुए 3000 की जर्नी की तरफ का आनंद लेंगे हम. So yeah, what this out and yeah, one can invest on it. The next would be Lovable Lingerie, and again this one has given a weekly close above very strong resistance. So you would see that this 87.5 range over here, it kind of gave a jump from this end over here. Then again it tried to break out, it went down. Again it tried to break out over here, it went down, and here it broke out from this zone, and now it's kind of retested and given a closing above it on a weekly basis. So one can look to accumulate this as well. Then next we'll look at Aircon Internationals. Now this one has earlier has given a breakout on the triangle pattern, but what is interesting about it is that this week it has given a closing above a very strong resistance over this 105.5 range, and you would also see this volume spike here. So one can even accumulate with the levels shared over here. The next I would like to talk about is Atul. Now Atul has formed a flag pattern. You would also see it has been giving a weekly higher low levels. So a weekly a breakout above this flag pennant as well. So one can look to accumulate. Hopefully it will positionally it will reach 5 digits. And the last in today's finding is SUNDARMFIN. So again, a weekly breakout candidate. It had given a breakout on the cup and handle pattern earlier, but this week it has given a highest weekly closing, I would say, above this 2100 zone, right? And you would see a kind of rise in the volumes as well. So one can look to accumulate with the given levels. Now these were the findings, the new findings for today, but I'll also kind of quickly go through the stocks which I had shared in the past and still can be looked at, right? So one is ADVENZYMES. So I had shared this on 8th Feb. This had given a flag breakout. I had kind of asked to accumulate it between 360 to 53 pattern. It did, and gave a lot of time to accumulate and add and in that zone. Still not very far off from that area. One can still kind of look to add if it dips towards 369 zone or even lower, right? So for the mentioned targets. Next is Tata Power. Again, it had given over here, you would see in this orange lines, it had given an inverted head and shoulders breakout earlier. Then it is also forming a cup and handle on a larger time frame scale. But what is interesting is that the past couple of days it is kind of giving a sort of a volume squeeze, right? The volumes are falling, it's not much falling, so one can still look to accumulate it if interested. It's a FNO stock as well, so if anyone is interested in entering FNO, can do that with the said stop loss, right? The next would be TEAMLEASE. Now TEAMLEASE, a very interesting pattern. I think it had given last week a breakout from almost 3 years resistance, and this week it retested that zone. I had shared this idea on 4th Feb. So if you see on this chart, refer these black down aiming arrows, right? These are the instances when it tried to kind of break out of the zone and it was rejected. And then past week it closed above the zone. It retested this week, so one can still look to accumulate it for the mentioned targets. Next will be FINPIPE. Again, cup and handle breakout. If you see the last week candle, it closed above this zone, this black trend line. And I shared this idea on 2nd Feb. This week, the past week, it tried to retest it and closed above this black trend line. So one can look to accumulate it. If you notice on the volume side, there's kind of a good rise in the volumes when it gave a breakout above this black trend line. So one can look to add this one. Then Nippon India. Again, this one is it gave a breakout on the from the resistance zone. Also it was forming a triangle. If you refer the black arrows, these are the instances when it tried to breach the zone but was kind of rejected either by the excess demand or excess supply. It did in the past week, it did made a free close over here, but it never closed below 300 zone. So I would hope it moves up from here. One can look to accumulate. Right? Last for today is SWSOLAR. This I had shared on 5th Jan. I'll just move to the daily time frame here to show you what I've been looking at. So I shared this on 5th Jan. It was forming a inverted head and shoulder pattern, but also it's been kind of, if you refer these purple lines, it's been kind of forming a pennant, and it closed above a resistance, good resistance of 251.6 zone. So I feel one can still accumulate it between 252 and 234 levels, and with keeping that stop loss, I think it should move towards this blue line over here and maybe beyond that as well. So one can still look at it. So these are the stocks for today, guys. Hope you like the stock ideas, and if you do, then please do like, share and subscribe, and share it with your friends and family as well. Thank you. See you until the next video. Bye. Stay safe.